What is up guys, Gareth here bringing you my pulls for this current week, which is Wednesday the 29th. That sounds about right, Wednesday the 29th. It's also sort of a haul video as well as some more pulls from last week and then the first 2 weeks of May. No idea why I didn't order at the beginning of the month, but I didn't, so I've got all my pulls now, so I'm going to show you all of them. And then my haul is, I've got 2 eBay lots, both a certain series that I will show you. So as always, start DC, then move on to Independence. And quite an expensive week for DC. Expensive week for DC because it's their annuals. So first up is Smallville Season 11 Special, Issue 1. This, as far as I know, is about 3 or 4 part. Because I know that there's a Issue 2 Season 11 Special. So then we move on to the annuals, which is Red Hood and the Outlaws, Issue 1 annual. I have no idea why they have the Issue 1 for an annual, but not in love with that cover. Then we move on to the Batman ones, which is Batman Dark Knight Issue 1 with Penguin, Mad Hatter and Scarecrow. Don't like the way they've drawn Scarecrow, but hey ho, that's that one. And then Catwoman Annual Issue 1, loving the yellow background. There's a few other comics that I've picked up with the yellow background and I just think it makes a nice change, makes it sort of stand out a bit more. So let's move on to the Independents. This one I just picked up because I like the synopsis that it gave, Thief of Thieves Issue 14. Haven't read it yet, hoping that I like it because as I've dropped Marvel, looking to pick up a few more Independents, so I've heard good things about it, so picked it up. And then next up is Morning Glories Issue 27. Issue 27, which is the second part to the Season 2 opener. Can't recommend this series enough. If you haven't picked it up already, I would highly recommend going back right to the beginning, picking up the trade, just because with all the time travel, sort of the mystery element, it's not sort of a title that you can drop and pick up sort of 4 or 5 issues later, so you have to start at the beginning. So that's that. So let's move on to the previous week's haul. Starting off with Batman and the Red Hood, Issue 20. Loving that cover. Then we have Justice League Dark, which I don't usually pick up, which is Issue 20 as well. But with Trinity Wars starting up, I thought I would pick it up, and just to get an idea of who the characters in it are. And then the Flash Issue 20, the first issue of Flash I've picked up. Hoping it's not halfway through a story. If it is, I'll go back and pick up the previous issues, but loving that cover. Then we've got Batman Detective Comics Issue 20. Yeah, it is Issue 20, which I don't really like the cover. I think it's cool, but I don't know, maybe a bit too dark. Then the cover that I'm absolutely loving, Issue 7 of Arrow. First cover of this series that I actually like, and with Deathstroke in the Arrow Shaft, is it called? I don't think it is. Whatever that part of the Arrow is called, which is cool. Hoping I actually like the stories that are inside, because Arrow can be a bit of hit and miss with me. Then we've got Batman Incorporated Issue 11, which is ending at Issue 12 or 13. I want to say Issue 12, but it might be Issue 13. Then Batman Little Gotham Issue 2, loving the sort of the baby child cover. Can't wait to give that a read just for a bit of fun. And then Batman the Dark Knight, probably one of my favourite Batman series so far, with the Mad Hatter. Not looking forward to when that ends, because I'm just loving the writing by Greg Hurwitz, if that's how you pronounce it. And then you've got Green Arrow Issue 20. Yep. Batwing Issue 20, which I would be amazed if this goes any more than Issue 25, because it's their lowest ordered comic, and I'm suspecting that the only reason why it's got to Issue 20 so far is because it's a Batman title. Then we have Justice League Issue 20. A lot of people are hating on this one. It's a bit of a filler issue, but I haven't read it yet. But again, I don't really pick up the Justice League titles. I'm only picking them up because the Trinity War is about to start. Action Comics issue 20. Don't know why I keep looking to see what issue it is. It's quite obvious it's going to be issue 20. Batman Beyond Unlimited issue 16. Which this could be the final issue. Oh no, issue 17 might be the final issue because Batman Beyond Universe, I think that's what it's called, is starting up. And then we have Legends of the Dark Knight issue 8. Again, another series that I'm really loving. I like the short story style. But I don't know what's going on with this cover with the leg. It looks very, not out of context, but disproportionate to the way. I get that he's supposed to be sort of running on it, but it just looks weird to me. But that's that one. Then we've got Superman Smash issue 20, again with a yellow cover. I'm really liking that cover with Orion. Then we move on to our independents. I was supposed to get 4 independents, which was Nowhere Men issue 6, I believe, and Orphans issue 1, but they've both been dyed. So all we have is The Bounce. And that's issue 1, The Bounce, and then 10 grand issue 1. And because I am a subscriber on the site that I use, sometimes they chuck in sort of a variant or a comic, and they decided to chuck in Justice League International issue 11. It's not in good condition. I'd say it's probably good plus. It's always nice to chuck in a comic, and it helps that I already have a few issues. I'm not collecting Justice League International, but at least it's a collection that I already have, so it's not just going to be a random comic. Then we move on to my back issues. I bought 2 series, both Batman related. First one is, I'll do this one because it's current. Because I only started collecting comics again about 3 months ago, I couldn't jump on this series when it very first started. So I got Batman Arkham Unhinged issue 1. I really like all these covers with the faces. Then we have issue 2, Jim Gordon. Issue 3, this is probably my favourite one, Joker, Harley Quinn and Penguin. Yeah, Penguin. Although I'm not a fan of Harley Quinn's new look. And then issue 4. So can't wait to go and read them. Really do like the Arkham Unhinged and Arkham Asylum books, just because they get a bit more freedom in terms of the character development and what they can do, just because it's in its own continuity. So they haven't got to worry about how it relates and rolls over into other comics. And then the second series I picked up in a lot of 11 issues is Batman Shadow of the Bat. That's issue 1. What I like about the first 4 issues is they're the same cover layout. That's issue 2. Issue 3. Issue 4. I'm undecided whether I like the art or not. I don't know. Sometimes I look at it and I do, and other times I don't. It's a little too much sort of like over the top detail, if that makes sense. And then we do a massive jump to issue 20. I haven't got any of these issues, so I was just glad to pick up a lot. Issue 22. Don't need to rebag and board all these. Issue 61. 66. 77, which I'm quite annoyed the cover's coming out and it wasn't like that in the it wasn't described like that in the light. But that's issue 77. That's probably my favourite cover out of the lot, with Batman got like a not a balaclava covering his eyes, and he's about to walk off of the edge of the building or scaffolding, whatever you want to call it. And then Batman Shadow of the Bat 93, which is part of No Man's Land. So that's it. That is my haul I will be back. I'm going to review my current week's comics tomorrow, and then I will be back on next Sunday with next week's pulls. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you all later.